Qodron the Chronovore is the final boss in the Forever Eater version of Prison of Elders. Today we'll take a look at the mechanic behind the fight and the overall strategy to take him down. Qodron, like most of the other Prison of Elders bosses, only has one mechanic, and mastering this mechanic is crucial to success. 45 seconds into the fight, and every 55 seconds after the first, Qodron will imprison all players in a detainment field, very similar to the detainment from Vault of Glass. However, these detainment fields are much stronger than their Vault of Glass counterparts, and are very difficult to remove. You will take continuous damage while within the detainment field, and will most likely die without outside help. To assist with the destruction of these detainment fields, you will need the Jailbreaker buff. The Jailbreaker buff increases your damage against detainment fields by a very significant amount, about 700%. To get the Jailbreaker buff, you must land the final blow on Qodron's eye, which is essentially a very shiny goblin. Qodron's eye will spawn right at the very beginning of the fight, and typically will wander over to you. Only one person will be able to get this buff, however, and the buff lasts only for 30 seconds. The Qodron's Eye goblins will respawn at a pretty decent rate. You should never have to wait around for one to respawn unless you're killing them too quickly and wasting the buff. You can still very much kill your detainment field without the use of the Jailbreaker buff. 6 shots from a 365 found verdict can destroy your field if you are level 34, but it'll be pretty close. Other high-powered weapons can also help you burst through it. The strategy here is simple in theory. Kill the eye around the time when you think you will be detained, stack up, and blast away your detainment fields. The person with Jailbreaker should be using a shotgun to very quickly blast away the fields, although a heavy machine gun works just as well. Those without the buff should continue to shoot through their shields anyway to help. This is the main and only mechanic of the fight. However, the sheer amount of adds that spawn during the encounter will keep you very occupied, to the point where most of what you'll be doing is killing adds. This is another fight about ad control and ad management. You should definitely have one person fully dedicated to destroying goblins and hobgoblins, as not clearing them will very easily cause your demise. There are two ways of dealing with Qodron's Eye depending on its position. One suggestion is to get Qodron's Eye to very low health, but not killing it if it is very close to you. This way you only need to hit it with 1 or 2 shots to kill it for Jailbreaker. Another option is to shoot off its head so that it will come running towards you if it's far away, because it operates like a normal goblin. Normal goblins with no head will endlessly chase and attack you until destroyed. However, if you do this too early, you will have a goblin chasing you around very aggressively until killed, and if you kill it too early, that could be a problem. The first eye that you need to kill in the encounter may spawn far away from you, which makes the very beginning of this fight a little bit crazy. Most of the time, as long as your group stays together, it'll wander over towards you. My fire team stayed grouped up on the right because there's a decent amount of protection available, but any area that your group might find more comfortable or reliable is just as good. When detainment comes, we fell back into an interior area to block ourselves from being shot from adds that were in the middle of the arena. To keep things a little more consistent, we had one player always be the Jailbreaker, although if you're in a pinch for the buff, anyone should attempt to grab it. The only suggestion I have for a loadout is a shotgun. You can use whatever else you want otherwise. Shotguns are great for getting out of your detainment fields and are very good for taking out major Vex enemies, which there are a lot of. Heavy machine guns will also serve you very well in this encounter for getting out of detainment bubbles or for otherwise mowing down enemies. There are no elemental shields to worry about in this fight, so do not feel limited to a specific elemental weapon. Use whatever you prefer. The biggest piece of advice I have for this fight is to just take it slow. There are going to be a lot of adds spawning all the time, and times where your entire fire team will be able to damage Qodron will be rare. Take your time, do not rush, and do not force anything to happen. Have one person dedicated full time to adds, while the other 2 players help occasionally with adds and otherwise damage the boss. As far as I know, there is no enrage timer. At the very least, we stayed a full 10 minutes in the encounter to see if he would enrage, and after 10 minutes, Qodron did not enrage, so take the time that you need. That is your Qodron the Chronovore guide. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.